Hey, Greg Merrick again, here with more World of Tanks. Today with my Lorraine. The reason I'm posting this is because this is probably one of the best games I've ever had with the Lorraine, and I just wanted to share it. So, we're in Red Shire, and we've got a near 50% chance to win per XVM. No especially great players on either team. No large platoons that'll swing the match one way or the other. Lock my view in and let's roll. Now, I've gotten pretty accustomed to fighting on the western side of the map in Red Shire. Getting a little bit more comfortable with it. Knowing that Lorraine's got some speed. Hoping to get in a nice kind of passive scouting position, a safe position. My gun's too important to the team to risk it doing anything silly. Just trying to kind of hug the coast here so I can maintain my speed and also kind of get hard cover from any fire that might come down on me. Just in case. So this was my passive scouting position, looking for any scouts that might poke over too far. Basically anybody doing any major mistakes I could catch here. I didn't want to do any more aggressive scouting just in case I could get tracked and killed. Nobody likes getting shot by a T-95 or one-shotted by a Tier 8 already as a Lorraine. A little bit of HE goes a long way when you've only got 40 millimeters of armor. Our scouts rolling through. Nothing's happening yet. I'm just waiting for this Tiger and this IS to come in and do the pushing for me. Of course I get bumped. What can you do? No. I'm thinking just maybe I can track this this WZ-132. That didn't happen. Didn't get spotted either, luckily. Now my Tier 7s have done some spotting on the line here. I'm just going to roll back. Put some rounds down range. I realized I was blocking this IS, so I got out of his way. Continue to put rounds down range. I guess he decided to bump me just for bumping him, I guess. Yep, nothing there. And, yep, can't move because the IS decided to park behind me for some reason. I guess he was really upset that I was behind him. Let's check out that IS. Yeah, he's not the best player in the world. I'll retake my passive scouting position here, just to make sure we're not getting flanked. Didn't do too terribly much damage, but I did over 900 to a Tier 8 and a Tier 7 tank. I'm sorry, 2 Tier 8 tanks. I realize our Tier 7 heavies here are stock, so they're not going to be too threatening with the damage. I see them moving forward. I move into position. Now it would probably be smarter to not have my butt exposed here.
Enemy armor is damaged.
But it worked a good last time, and I feel like these two bushes might be giving me a little bit of cover. I still haven't been spotted either. T-34 has been tracked. I'll be happy to try to keep him tracked if I can.
Enemy armor is hit.
Put another 1700 down range. Loading again. Whenever I'm on an autoloader, I try to let my team know when I'm loading and when I'm not loading. That way they can know when to do the spotting, when not to do the spotting, hopefully, if they're paying attention. I'm kind of getting ready, thinking it's going to be about time for me to... There's a medium pushing the line, chasing our scout, I believe. Now, I ended up with a little bit of a problem here, as I ran out of down traverse. All I could do was shoot his turret, and I didn't want to do that, so I had to back up. Oops, I got lucky and somebody else tracked him. I'm trying to track him here, but with the help of our RHM, I believe, we actually got the kill.
We've lost some ammo, but at least it didn't explode. Track hit.
Now, I took two nice sized little chunks off my life there. Not too happy about that. My ammo rack had also been hit. And it doesn't affect your drum of ammo, but it certainly affects your reload time. And the reload time with the ammo rack Lorraine is over a minute. So
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Managed to destroy 3 tanks. I put 4,300 damage to these tanks that this Tiger is nicely spotting for me. But then again, I'm not sitting on a whole lot of health either. Trying to let that Tiger know I'm not quite ready for him to do any big risks yet. Just going to see if I could help out that type, but then I realized the type should have it well in hand. Now this this T-29 is sitting behind the corpse of another tank. But that little edge of his gigantic turret was sticking out, and I decided to put a couple rounds in it. Alright, I'm already up to nearly 5,000 damage dealt. Now I realize that the enemy team is getting close to our cap, but I feel like I can run back, destroy their artillery, and still come back in time to defend the cap. So that's what I want to do. It's bad enough having to worry about other tanks shooting me, but the artillery hitting me wherever I might be spotted is a little bit of a frightening prospect when you've only got 423 hit points and no armor. Now I'm just keeping an eye out for that T-95. I haven't quite figured out where he was. I didn't see him on the mini-map. There's a little triangle there on the far east. But I knew that Artie didn't know, but I had a strong suspicion that the Artie would be here. Since there's no other Artie, I feel like I can just carefully reposition. I reload my magazine. And I want to try to spot for that T-95. If I had seen on my mini-map that little triangle here at E0, if I would have seen that at the time, I wouldn't have delayed like I am now. If I would have realized he was way on the other side of the map, I never would have taken my time back here. Plus there's a Tiger 1 unaccounted for. So I'm just trying to spot while I'm reloading. Haven't spotted anything yet. Now that I'm loaded, I'm a little bit more confident. I'm still going to be cautious. And now I see the T-95 has been spotted. I've still got a Tiger to worry about, but I feel like my team needs me. So I have two options. I can try to sit on cap and hope the Tiger doesn't reset on me, or I can go help my team defend the cap. Now I'm fast enough. I can cross this distance. And now they're telling, there was one of the IS that had blocked me earlier is telling me to cap. And I told him I thought I could get the kill. Crossing the space. I feel like if I sit on this hill, I might be able to have a high enough vantage point where I can put some rounds on these guys as they advance towards our cap. But I'm also being careful. I'm just cresting a ridge a little bit, seeing if I get spotted. If I don't get spotted, I'm pulling back. I'm going to the next ridge. And I'll crest, see if I get spotted, and pull back. Now, I like this rock, but I don't have a lot of down traverse. Keep the rock nearby. Now, as some of you know, these reviews aren't perfect. I am shooting at something here. You can't see see me highlighted, but I am highlighting that T-95. Trying to shoot the slivers of the tank. Now, if you shoot a sliver of a tank at this range, the round is arcing up and arcing back down. So you're actually shooting at more of the tank than you realize. So there is more margin of error than you realize. I've got 4 more rounds. I'd love to put some into these tanks before I have to move and potentially expose myself, because I'm a one-shot kill for that T-95. Nice.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
I'm just trying to shoot the biggest part of the tank I can see. Okay, so now my drum's empty. I'm thinking I might get some good shots on these guys still. I'm still afraid of exposing myself to the T-95. I think if not now, very soon somebody's going to tell me to go and cap. I'm using these trees. I know it's not the most interesting thing to watch, is me shooting his silhouettes through trees, but just didn't want to get spotted. Now I've got a round of APCR in my drum. It'll lose effectiveness at range, And plus, I'm just not getting the kinds of shots I need to destroy this T-95. So I'm going to try to outflank it. See, the Tiger P was destroyed by, I believe, our RHM with the help of our Tiger spotting. And now our Tiger's destroyed. Now it's just me and the German tank destroyer. Now I believe since the T-95 just killed a tank to my east, he should be facing away from me. Now this T-95 has got some crazy tricky armor. Trying to track him. And also, let me pause it for a second. A little situational awareness here. I am blocked by these two tanks. At this time, I'm not... very quickly I'll figure out that I cannot... I actually believe that there's only one tank here. But there's actually this tank too. You'll see in a second when I try to reposition. Now I've got over 200 pin with this gun, and I'm having trouble penetrating this tank. I want to keep him tracked, but I can't keep him tracked and damage him. So I just blocked myself in between this house and these two tanks. Luckily he'd been tracked that whole time. If he had had a full repair crew, he probably could have killed me. And now also the T-95 is going to make another mistake. Now this is what I'm actually seeing. I'm using the third person to really zoom out, really try to get an angle on this T-95. I figure I can wait him out. Now if he sits right where he's sitting, hold on, before he changed his direction here, if he sits right where he was sitting and he's pointing his gun at the house, no matter which direction I come from, he can shoot at me. So that's probably his best defensive position. But that RHM can still come from the rear and shoot him in the back. So that's what I'm holding my breath and waiting for. That RHM to move up, and he's dutifully doing so. But the T-95 decides he's going to try to push on me. Maybe try to let his armor, I'm not really sure. Maybe he just gave up. But there's no way that he'll be able to go around that house fast enough to get away from me. So that was a mistake on his part, but then again, it was just delaying the inevitable for him to sit there and wait at the house. He could have just waited for me to make a mistake. Maybe I would have tried to poke around or sneak around, and he could have shot and killed me. It probably would have been a better idea just to wait. Now I'm asking if the Tiger's AFK since he's never been spotted, and he never shot at me when he was back at the base. He never shot at me when I was dealing with T-95. I'm assuming he's AFK. And I believe earlier one of their teammates had even pointed out what section he was in, and he'd been AFK the whole game. Just running around. I'm trying to be safe. Even if this guy might not be AFK, I'm thinking he might just be just an absolute terrible player, like somebody's letting their kid play. So I did a shot on the move, ready to zoom by if he turned his turret at me. And I ended up actually doing a non-damaging hit on him. Finally set him on fire. He doesn't quite burn out though. And I believe I asked this RHM here as I reload if it's alright if I get the Top Gun. Because at this point, I'm not getting any, other than a high caliber medal, I'm not getting anything special for this game, although I did so much damage. It'd be nice to have a Top Gun to remember it by, and he's a nice enough guy to let me do so. As soon as I reload. And reloading. Pop. Alright, and the RHM could have shot him at any time. He had a line to shoot him way back there. So if you're watching or ever do ghost, thank you. Anyway, so yeah, so that was kind of playing to the strengths of the Lorraine, staying unspotted, letting other people doing the spotting, and kind of playing it as a lower damage, faster firing tank destroyer. And that's kind of where I found my luck in the Lorraine. I know some people equip binocs on the Lorraine to try to help them spot, but I feel like if I'm spotting, I'm already in too much danger. I try to keep a solid bush or some trees between me and the enemy as much as possible. You don't get as many experience points or money doing that because you're not spotting for other people's damage. But the tank is so thinly armored. The only time you're ever going to get a bounce is by a lower-ish caliber round, and if it hits just the tiniest little sliver at extreme angles, you hardly ever bounce with Lorraine. I don't care what's shooting at you. You can even have trouble with scouts, especially like things like the AMX 1390. They can really put a hurting on you before you're able to destroy them because you only do slightly more of an alpha. I think their alpha is 220 or 240, and they have a 5 or 6 round drum, and you've got a 6 round drum of 300, and they don't have that many less hit points than you either. But anyway, so yeah, the Lorraine, I'm actually almost done with the tank. I'm almost onto the bat chat. Only less than 10,000 away, I believe, experience points. So I've developed a respect for the Lorraine and a joy of playing the Lorraine that I didn't expect I would. I really had a lot of trouble with it early on because I think I was trying to spot for my own shots, and it never worked out for me. And I think I've learned to play the tank, or the tank's learned me, one of the two, I guess. Anyway, well, thanks for watching. And like I said, 8,500 damage game. That's my highest damage for the Lorraine yet, and I think it's probably my second or third highest damage game ever. Anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.